Welcome back, guys. This is Gaming with Austin, and today this marks 2 months since I started the series. And it's game on. I have enough soil to where I can start planting. Place some more soil around the top area. Right in the next floor. With the results, if you was to compare the performance of an RTX 2080 to that of a GeForce GT 1030, you're going to see a huge difference. You're going to see a huge difference between the two. The performance of the two graphics cards. It would be a massive difference between the two. With NVLink, you could have even better performance. Like, it'll act as if two cards were just one more powerful card. Instead of just a master card and a slave card. The slave card and the master card. No, I'm not referring to the credit card, the name of the credit card. I'm referring to the main card and the slave card that are used in SLI. When it goes to gaming performance. And as gaming performance gets better and better over time, how's is gaming performance going to get better? NVLink. NVLink. Would be the magic word. Which means that we'll eventually go towards better 3-way, 4-way, or 2-way SLI. NVLink has much more bandwidth than high bandwidth SLI. Which is good. I learned what Bart Simpson's catchphrase "Don't have a cowman" means. It means remain calm. That's what it means. In heaven or hell, Leave is the battle. Way of the blade. Graphics card. And I'm digging more soil so I could use some of that soil for and with graphics cards getting better and better over time, eventually we're gonna see graphics cards for gaming that'll outperform supercomputers today. Like the Sunway Taihu Lite. The Sunway Taihu Lite in China. Our supercomputers just keep getting more and more powerful. They just keep getting more and more powerful. Because look at our smartphones now. They have much more computing power than the computers that launched men on the moon. And eventually, our computers would get even more powerful. Game mode creative. I'm gonna supply myself with some diamond pickaxes. No, diamond axes. Game mode. Survival. Good. Ha! Much better. An example of a ruler. Oops. That promised to end poverty but ended up causing more harm than good is Adolf Hitler. How'd he drive so many people into poverty? Famines. Is how he caused... One way how he caused so much poverty in Germany under his absolute rule. One of those things he did put so many people in poverty is cause a famine in Germany. I'd call the elections in North Korea sham. They literally are sham elections. What we need is a free and fair election for all. Because, you know, gerrymandering makes our elections not so fair. Gerrymandering is what rigs our elections. It's not just the Russian government that does that. Something called it is something called gerrymandering. That is what's rigging our elections. Just like what happened to Monkey Bush and Cheese Puff. What we need is a fair election for all. We need fair elections. Electoral fraud is something people would do to go into power. Which makes our elections not so fair. In a lot of those countries that are totalitarian, they end up having sham elections. Elections held purely for show. That is not democracy. That is fraud. The elections you'll see in North Korea are fraudulent. Another... how they rig elections in totalitarian countries, they do it through forcing people to vote for the leader even if they don't want to. Whether they want to or not. Whether they like it or not. They have an implausibly high turnout of almost 100% in countries that do have sham elections. Nazi Germany held sham elections too. What we need is a society in which the economy is controlled democratically. That is owned by everybody. By the public. So we can to make sure we have enough for everybody. To make sure mass production goes on overdrive. I myself personally am in favor of a democratic society. Personally. I'm in favor of a democratic society. In which we have free and fair elections for all. How are some of the wealthy people able to rise to power? They did that through force. Good thing I summoned another pickaxe. Well, my goals end capitalism on a global scale. So we could be more free. Because, you know, in a capitalist society, the means of production are controlled by a handful of people. We need our policies to be controlled democratically. I myself personally am against capital punishment too. It's unfair that people get punished just because their family members broke the law. It's not fair at all. See people get punished just because their family members broke the law. It's not fair at all. We need to end fascist rule all over the world. And create a new international. Which is a coalition of partisans and non-partisans alike. Some countries are non-partisan democracy. There are some examples of direct democracy too. The Italian partisans were the ones who got Mussolini executed. We don't want fascists in our society. We need to drain the society of fascism. The reason we need to drain our society of fascism, look at Nazi Germany. It does more harm to society than good. Why we need to abolish capitalism, the corporate greed of businesses leads to the suffering of millions. Both people and animals alike. Like, especially the workers. They don't care about how hard they bust their asses. Which probably explains why factory farmers get paid almost... They are poorly paid even though they bust their asses just to feed us. It ain't fair. How are we gonna make the economy better? by abolishing capitalism. What we need to do is bring forth a new international. Of workers. Provide for the common good of the people and and to protect the human race. And all the animals we should take care of, too. Our modern methods of slaughtering animals are pretty barbaric. They squirm around violently. Just to get away from their greedy capitalists who are trying to make all that money from exploiting them. Which probably explains why not only factory farm workers are poorly paid, but it's also the same reason why farm animals on factory farms are denied veterinary care. Because of those greedy capitalists, pig dogs. They're also the ones responsible for the opium outbreak, opioid epidemic, the drug epidemic in America. The capitalist pig dogs are responsible for the drug epidemic in America. This is why we need to end capitalism. Also known as crapitalism. Because what it is, basically, it's an economic system in which means of production are owned by a bunch of cronies. And wannabe dictators. What we need to do is impose a maximum wage ceiling on our CEOs. And bring the power back to the people. We need power back to the people. Power belongs to the people, not the elite. The working class is the one who contributes most of society. The most to society. Like our peasants, our factory workers. Without them, society wouldn't function without them. We need truck drivers. We need a political system that is good for everybody. Not just the elite few, but for something that is good for everybody. one of my goals is to end racism all over the world, not just in the United States. Not just in the United States, but on a global scale. We need the and capitalism is what's going to end up causing society as we know it to collapse. People being forced out of their jobs for no reason, even if they don't increase their wage. Even without a minimum wage increase. There are people that get kicked out of their jobs for no reason. What we need to do is abolish capitalism. Purge all the neo-Nazis out of our society. We shouldn't force people into a religion. It should be up to them if they want to go into a religion or not. It should be up to them. Because look at Al-Shabaab in Africa. They are forcibly converting innocent Christians. They are persecuting innocent people. It's not fun. It's not very nice. Same thing with Al-Qaeda and ISIS. It's not very nice for them to do shit like that. We shouldn't be persecuting homosexuals, either. Because they deserve to be a part of society, too. They deserve to be part of the society, too. They deserve to be part of the society, too. Our society. And the neo-Nazis, they're trying to kick them out. An example of fascism, South of Vietnam was a fascist state. South of Vietnam is an example of a fascist country. What's an example of modern-day fascism? North Korea. ISIS. Al-Shabaab is an example of Islamic fascism, also known as Islamofascism for short. We don't want fascism in our society. Because in fascism, the government forces people out of their jobs. Even if they didn't want to lose that job. We need tougher animal welfare laws. And tougher... We need to impose a maximum wage ceiling for our CEOs. Because workers are usually the ones busting their asses. Just to bring home very little money. Sometimes. But not all the time. Now, let's plant more. Because, you know, greed, it's bad for society. It causes society to suffer. An example of such greed, Adolf Hitler. He was a really greedy jerk. Wanted to create a massive empire spanning the whole world. He was a tyrant. Stalin was a tyrant, but Khrushchev was not so much of a tyrant as Stalin was. This is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, dislike if you disliked it, subs if you loved it. Don't forget to share this with your friends on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you for watching and peace out.